All right, let's get this party started. How we feel? Hope everybody's feeling good. Make sure you check in where you're from. Give me a replay, gang. If you're watching the replay, it's Free Coaching Friday. It's one of my favorite days of the week, man.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown, and you're in the right place at the right time because
please enter your.
All right, calling in on this line.
Please announce yourself.
there's a lot of us.
All participants are muted. Entry and exit tones are off. All participants are muted, and they can unmute themselves.
Okay. Good morning, millionaires. Good morning, millionaires. I hope you're feeling good this morning. My name is Haziq Ali, TGIF, y'all. The grind includes Friday. The grind includes Friday. We had a heck of a week this past week, right? Like starting off on Monday, we broke down this whole way that we could start winning with home-based businesses. So if you missed that one, make sure you go to Millionaire Minded TV on YouTube and check that out. Part 2 was even more popular. More people watched part 2 than they did part 1 so far. And I thought part 1 was amazing. So you should probably go back and check that out if you missed it. Then on Wednesday, we did these 6 networking secrets for home-based businesses. How many? I don't know. Yeah, check in. Where you from, baby? What kind of business you got? You know, rep your city. If you were there on Thursday, then you know right after that we covered yesterday kind of like this 5-step system that'll make it so that you never run out of leads. And then today's Free Coaching Friday. So that was our whole week. Hopefully you got something out of it this week. How was your week though? Like scale of 1 to 10, with 10 being best week ever. How close did you get this week? How many of your goals did you hit? I sent something out on free coaching. I sent something out yesterday when, you know, on the email list and whatnot. And I sent you some goodies. I sent you some kind of like magical kind of tips for your business and whatnot, right? But then on top of that, we just started talking about in general this thing called life, right? And what I challenged you to do was come up with what are the next 3 things that you're, because we started talking about it. Different people read, listen, learn different kinds of ways. But what we got to do is learn. We have to make sure that every single day that we're growing a little bit. So I challenged you in the email. I said, hey, what are the next 3 things that you're either going to read, listen to, or study maybe on YouTube? Maybe it's going to be a podcast. Maybe it's going to be a video. Maybe it's an actual book. Like everywhere in my house, there are books. You know what I mean? So *6 will unmute your line. Maybe just to get you feeling good about things. Why don't you just tell us the next 3 things that you're about to read, listen to, and or study? *6 will unmute your line. You can also put it in the comments and we'll spotlight it. But let's spark up our learning this weekend. How y'all feel about that? I know this Saturday we got a Kaizen Academy. We're gonna have a ball with that. But good morning, millionaire. Who got one for us this morning? What's something that you're about to read? What are the next 3 things you're about to read or study or consume? Good morning.
Good morning, millionaire.
Hey, good morning, Queen. Good morning.
Good morning, Coach Haziq Ali. Diamond Yvonne here. I'm now in the DMV, Prince George's County. I was invited by my Mama Hassan and Diane Smith, Billionaire Showgirl. And I've been on the line for about a couple of weeks now. So I'm going to start reading. I just bought the book yesterday, John C. Maxwell, Good Leaders Ask Great Questions. Yes. So I just picked it up this morning, and I haven't started, but I'm going to read that first. My week has been phenomenal, only because the week before that was horrible. I was actually in I'm going to have to keep it real, a homeless state, because I gave up my housing last year to go to Africa because I thought I was going to stay a good long time, but I came back after 3 months, and I've been going from, with my consistent retirement, Social Security retirement income. I can take that direct deposit and live anywhere in the world I want, as long as I am doing it frugally. So I decided to go to Florida because I didn't want to be in the cold. And that was great. You know, I used the Airbnb room rentals type of situation, keeping it low on the cost. And now I'm back here, but I had a very, very, very difficult time finding housing this time. These people that have rooms to rent, they want, what, have you had the vaccine yet? What is your credit score? I mean, ethics obscene, and they want double the money. And I'm like, wait a minute now, this is a room, not a full apartment. If I had all that, I wouldn't want to talk to you.
You say they
So anyway,
asking you some questions.
Just 3 days ago, I slept in my new room.
Woo!
Night for the second night. And I mean, it is phenomenal. This is a huge house. The man that owns the house, he's one of our diasporan brothers from the country of Brazil. And he owns not one, not two, not three, but 12 houses. And the rent is very low and reasonable. This house is huge. And I've got a lovely room. And access to the entire house. It's walking distance to the bus stop. I mean, I am a happy, wonderful, happy and grateful person. Thank you, Lord. I just wanted to share that with you guys because I had almost gotten to a breaking point. I said, what the heck is going on here? But you say to us, how bad do you want it? So I had to keep my eyes on the prize and being happy and grateful and thanking my God who has always supplied all my need according to his riches and glory by Christ Jesus. Thank you so much for that opportunity, brother.
You're so welcome. You're so welcome. I understand like why she kind of gave us an update and whatnot. What we try to do is on Fridays, we try to keep this focused to questions and then kind of like business level concerns, because what I'm trying to do is congeal these life lessons. Like there were probably a lot of life lessons in that story she just now told about not giving up, about making sure that she increases her means or lives beneath them, right? So that she can function in society. There was all kinds of lessons there, but we never got to a question, unfortunately. And I want to make sure this stays entertaining for everybody and educational for everybody. So please, y'all, look at your business, look at your day-to-day interactions with your mindset, and let's kind of focus this morning on where we can improve and maybe any life lessons that we picked up that helped us get through that particular trial. So that was super cool.
And I think, I'm so sorry, I forgot to say, according to what you wanted us to say, you told us every day we should pick up 2 new leads. I got 2 new leads yesterday.
Nice.
That was what was so fantastic. Yeah, so I got those 2 leads, and I didn't even know that I was going to be able to do that. So I'm starting out great because you're a great coach, and I thank you very much.
How did you get the 2 leads? That sounds pretty interesting. Do you want to tell us about what happened? Because I know there are a lot of people out there listening, even watching the replay, that are like, man, I have nobody to talk to.
Yes, sir. I was, but like, you know, it's all based upon the fact that I'm just setting up my room here in this area once again. So I have to go to buy stuff to put in my room. So I was in this store, I call it the boutique. It's really a secondhand thrift store.
Yes, ma'am, but try and tell the story like as quickly as you can. Like try to leave out as many of the.
Sitting in the chair that I bought, and these women were coming in, and they're like, "Oh, you look so comfortable." So they start talking to me, and I start talking to them. And you know, the lady said, "Can I give you my card?" That's what it was. And I said, "Sure." So she does cleaning, and I'm like, "Oh, I wonder how I can help you." So you told us to say, "How can I help you?"
That's right.
And her mom was with her, and her mom does she does something I forgot at the moment, but she does something that requires customers too. She works in a nursing home. So what I do right now, I am promoting this super fragilistic, amazing machine that kills the virus. So I talk to them about how I can help them, and we can work together because we've got what everybody needs. Those are
Sounds
my 2
good.
needs, and I'm
Sounds
sticking it
good.
there.
Yeah, that's amazing. Like how God just sent them right into your life, and they happen to be in the cleaning business. It sounds like there was an opportunity,
Yes,
even
sir.
with the different people you were looking to rent rooms from, because maybe there are different rental organizations, etc., who would love to have you on contract, or someone that owns those machines on contract, going through cleaning the places in between movers, etc., so forth. Every single month, landlord organizations and property management organizations have some kind of turnover. One of those properties is probably having to get switched out. And that would be a heck of an opportunity for a piece of equipment like it sounds like you share. So thank you. Like we tried hard, but we finally got a business tip out of that thing. So everybody give it up for that. That's what's up.
Thank you so much. God bless you.
God bless you too, Queen. This Saturday coming up, we got the Kaizen Academy, everybody. I hope you're ready. It's called Magic Words, right? What are the magic words? How to get rejection-proof appointments scheduled. Your calendar is your boss as an entrepreneur. Your calendar is your boss. If you show me your calendar, I can show you what your bank account is going to look like. I can tell you how close to your potential you're actually getting with this entrepreneur thing. All I got to do is look at your calendar. So what we're going to talk about this weekend there's a bunch of really cool ways to get that calendar filled up exactly the way she just now explained it, where just through happenstance. And if you look to add 2 people a day to your list, I have a feeling that you are going to really surprise yourself. We asked yesterday, we were saying, we gave a bunch of little cool tips, but something that came out that I wanted to share with everybody was this thought that I got from Jeff Bezos, right? I don't know how many of you know, but he just now released his final shareholder report as he's stepping down as the CEO of Amazon. And there are 5 words in his report that I think sum up exactly how he was able to build his business. And while you guys are coming up with questions that you may want to ask, good morning, Queen. Good morning, Kibi. Good morning, Mama Mahasan. While everybody's coming up with different questions that they want to ask this morning, I just wanted to share it with you. These are the 5 words that Jeff Bezos laid out that kind of sum up a brutal truth, a simple, brutal truth that a lot of entrepreneurs never learn, right? And then after that, he continues to use the rest of this 5,600-page report to pretty much qualify his statement, right? And show how Amazon lives up to this. Here were the 5 words. Y'all want the 5 words? Somebody give them to me in the comments. Here are the 5 words, y'all. Create more than you consume. Create more than you consume. Create more than you consume. What are you doing as a business owner to create more than you consume? What makes this such a profound and yet difficult statement? It's because of the fact that when you're in an entrepreneur space, you're always in conflict between value creation and then value capture. And the reason I wanted to bring that up is because to me, that reminds me of networking. When you're meeting the person, you're always dancing on this line between creating value for them and then in the back of your mind, like, dang, I'm ready to harvest some of this value that I know I've put into this relationship. You get what I'm saying to you? You see what I'm saying to you? What I'm trying to say is that at the end of the day, what you need to do is begin to look at your life as a giving process. What if you were to give yourself away? You know, I love that conversation we had with Miss Bryce yesterday, where she was talking about how, man, since on Tuesday, she really heard us going in about these networking concepts. She was going to jump out there and, you know, we talked about this thing. One of the tips we gave on Tuesday, when we were saying these 10 tips to networking really quick when you're a home-based business, we said, hey, if you got an hour and you want to talk to 20 people, you got 3 minutes per person, right? And, you know, if you got an hour and you want to talk to 12 people, you got 5 minutes per person, right? We were breaking it down in terms of a time thing so that you can go in there with a strategy and leave out with those business cards. Because when you're trying to do 2 a day, you're going to call every business card you got out that room. You're not going to spend a lot of time with them before they've even seen some information. You're just qualifying. And that's what I'm going to teach you this weekend. Little ways to qualify, little ways to get people to agree before they've even seen anything. At least get them to make a decision, because that's what we're in. We're in a decision-making business, right? And so if you're going to do that, then you're going to have to get. So what did she say? She said, and I love her, and I'm not putting her on the spot. You know, Miss Bryce knows how I feel about her. So I'm sure she wouldn't mind me sharing with you that the next one we talked about is that she was like, man, I'm gonna give them my presentation and then I'm gonna get out of there. And in that moment is where we can ask ourselves if we're living up to this credo that Bezos just threw out there. Create more than you consume, right? So check it out. What we said is that instead of giving a presentation 3 minutes each from each person, we tell them instead exactly what we just heard from Queen this morning, which is, hey, how can I help you? Or tell me a little bit about what you do. I meet a lot of people. I'm sure I can send you some customers. You see that? Now that's 3 minutes they can use. That's 3 minutes that they'll never forget, especially since you're going to call them in 24, 48, 72 hours and follow up about the conversation y'all had. Especially since you're going to create a personnel file while they're talking. You're going to pull out your pen and you're going to write out what they tell you on the back of their business card so that you got it forever. What are you doing right there? You're creating more than you're consuming. You hear me? You're creating more than you're consuming. Does this business create more than it consumes? Because if it doesn't, it's on its way out. And that's what Jeff Bezos basically laid out. Does this person create more than they consume? Check it out. Let's be real with ourselves. Do I create more than I consume, right? In my relationships, okay? In my professional life, all right? In the business that I'm running. It starts to be a real efficient way to think about life, y'all. And Jeff Bezos was able to break it down even to the place of the shareholders, where he started talking about how, you know, yeah, Bezos might be worth about 200 billion, but if you look at the whole company, 7/8 of it is the shareholders, right? And that's $1.4 trillion worth of value he created. But if you want to talk about dancing between value creation and value harvesting, Jeff Bezos is the same guy that claimed the loss the first 13 years Amazon was in existence. He claimed the loss. Whenever the company made a couple dollars, he would reinvest it. Man, you take your commission check and you go yelling YOLO in the club. What if you took that money and reinvested it in a business? You was alive before you had a business, so clearly you can survive. Why are you expanding your expenses instead of increasing your investment, right? Especially if you believe the way you say you believe. You know, he shared this note from this one couple who sent him a letter saying that, like, man, they had bought 2 shares of Amazon when it first went public, and they never sold them until recently when their son wanted to buy a house. Now, you don't get what I'm saying to you. They could have took the money they bought the shares with and bought a couple items. You hear me? Instead, they bought the stock. And here they are now buying their son a house with the money from the stock. Do you think they sleep better at night knowing that they're helping to create legacy for themselves? Last year, Amazon had a net income of about $21.3 billion. And so that's what he's saying he did for the shareholders. But then he did it for the employees. Everybody's always talking about how Amazon craps all over their employees, right? But I got a question for you. If the employee could find a better place for the value they bring to the market, wouldn't they? You know, Amazon is keeping people employed. Now, no union, right? You know, unions are wild, right? No union. But here's the whole thing. Employees earned $80 billion last year. $80 billion. And then another 11 billion in benefits, another a couple billion in payroll. So what is my point there? My point is that, again, you can talk crap about the rich, right? But the thing is, it's on me and you to create as much value as we want for the marketplace. It's not on us to beg somebody to pay us more for driving a delivery truck. It's on us to create a delivery truck system that delivers more value to Amazon. You get what I mean? It's not on us to ask for more money to flip burgers. And I'm using a metaphor because I sincerely doubt anybody that flips burgers would tune into a show like this. But my point to you is that it's not on us to ask for more for the little that we do. It's on us to give more. And then the marketplace votes with its dollars. Another place that Bezos created a lot of value was with third-party sellers, you know? Third-party sellers made between $25 and $39 billion in profits last year. He was like, to be conservative, I go with 25 billion. It's a lot of value you're putting in the marketplace. And the reason you're rich is because you're taking a penny out of every dollar that goes through your hands. It's not much, a penny. And then it's probably less than that. It's more like a penny off every $10 is going to Bezos. A penny off every $100. But there's a lot of $100 bills flowing through this thing. Customers. This to me was one of the most mind-blowing pieces of the whole analogy that he put out there, the whole analysis that he put out there. He was talking about customers, yo. And he's like, how much do I save the customers? Not in money, y'all, but in time. Jeff Bezos was like, look, don't play with me. I even save you money as it relates to time. Let's look at how much time I save you with my online ordering systems. With my ability to let you purchase online. Let's not just look at the cost savings, because of course, we smashing y'all when it comes to avoiding sales tax. We smashing y'all. And I'm just sharing this with you so you look at your own business, your own sense of entrepreneurship. Do you know Jeff Bezos came up with, he's saving Amazon clients 75 hours a year. 75 hours a year, because you're able to push a button and it come to your house instead of you having to go to the store. And he did that at $10 an hour, right? And with 200 million members, he calculates the value creation at $126 billion that he just put into the marketplace. All of a sudden, his $200 billion net worth starts to look a little small when you look at him putting $126 billion worth of value into the marketplace just for the customers. And just this year alone, Amazon's been around, 20 years at this point. So if you add it all up, what Jeff Bezos came up with is that he puts about $300 billion a year into these 4 big classes of stakeholders. Now, people can hate on this, but that's because it's so much easier to criticize a musician until you got a guitar in your hand. You hear me? Oh, it's fun to be the quarterback from your living room. It's a lot harder when you got on that equipment and you staring at that defensive line. You hear me? So rather than criticize Jeff Bezos, I want to suggest that we start to ask ourselves better questions. It's Free Coaching Friday. And so, not for nothing, I just want to suggest that we ask ourselves better questions. And my question that I got for you today is, are you creating more than you consume? It's one thing to look at your business and say, this is what, like we were talking about this week, right? It's one thing to look at your business and say to yourself, man, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to be the best affiliate that this company ever had. That's one level of the game. But there's another level of the game that says, I'm going to deliver even more value than my company does. It's another level of the game that says, if I'm selling this piece of equipment, why don't I go out here and create a report? Like the sister that was talking about how she sells the equipment that helps get rid of the COVID virus and all of that. Well, what I'd be doing is making that into an irresistible offer. I'd be going out here and gathering all of this intelligence. I'd be gathering best uses and practices. I'd be gathering interviews. I'd be collecting all of the data and all of the habits and all of the values and the attitudes of the perfect customer for this product. And then I'd be asking myself, how can I serve them better? Where do they congregate? We talked about all of this week. So make sure you watch the trainings this week, right? But where do they congregate? What do they read, right? How can I create more value for this customer? I never want you to forget it, because every Friday, this is what we're here to cover, y'all. What's up, Mark? My man Mark Bates in the house. What's up, Phyllis? That's right. That's right. So every Friday, what we do is we remind ourselves about the revenue acceleration cycle. Some of you understand this thing, some of you don't. But I'm going to tell you something. It's so simple, y'all. It's so simple. You have 7 categories that you can utilize and grow any business that comes to your mind. Here in perfect order. If you're looking for questions to ask yourself, even if you don't want to put yourself on a spot, right? If you're looking for questions to ask yourself, and darn, I should have got to some of the questions that people emailed me, but it's okay. You know, y'all got me all tomorrow with the Kaizen Academy, right? But check it out. There are 7 categories. Each of them are so powerful that they can change your business by themselves. I want you to write these down in your notes. And then I want you to ask, I'll even give you a couple questions to ask yourself. I put these in a caption, but let's run with it. All right. First one is leads. The first one is leads, millionaires. Where do the people who you want to attract hang out? What do they read? How are you attracting, and here we go again, adding value to your perfect type of customer? Anybody want to throw any comments out there, like how they're doing that? How are you adding leads? How are you adding value to your perfect type of lead? What do you do where you just give them value without even like selling them something? What you got for me? Let me hear it. What you got? What you got? Huh? Interesting question, right? See, because what you could have done with Free Coaching Friday is asked us something like, hey, how can I get more leads? And then you could have told us your type of business, and then we'd start going in for you. The second one, right, is meaningful conversation. Nobody cares how much you know till they know how much you care. After you have the lead, you're looking to gather all of this intelligence about them so that you can help them solve their problems better, right? That's what you're doing at the next step. So how good is your meaningful conversation? That's the second category of the revenue acceleration cycle, this profit acceleration cycle. Do they know you care? Have you learned what you need to care about? You know, last night I was talking, my man Dennis had somebody that he was looking to help get into a new home and whatnot. And obviously Dennis is a financial literacy person. Shouts out to my man, Dennis Thicklin. And so he puts me on the line with her. And, you know, based upon the meaningful conversation that he had with her, I was able to go in there and surgically apply surgical relevance. Everything I said mattered to her because Dennis had already given me her archetype. I already knew her profile. So I was able to focus on the things that mattered. The power of meaningful conversation, y'all, is that it 10x's your impact. It 10x's your ability to serve. It 10x's your ability to create a loyal client. It 10x's your ability, y'all, to get more referrals. It all stems from you knowing the perfect person you're looking to talk to, and then the perfect, what they consider to be the perfect situation. The third one after that is appointments. Woo! If there's one that is underutilized, it is appointments, y'all. If there's one that's underutilized, it's appointments. I want y'all to look at this, man. Appointments. Appointments are your ability to get out here and prepare. The will to win is really the will to prepare. Think about that. The will to win is really the will to prepare. So what are we saying? We're saying that, like, you never mix the invitation with the presentation. Your calendar is your boss. The length of your list is the strength of your posture. I could go on and on and on with all these little cliches and Zekisms that'll say the same thing. But what I'm saying to you is that when you begin to set appointments, your entire business will increase. And that's what we're focused on this weekend. If you haven't joined the Kaizen Academy, we're talking about something that's like less than a cup of coffee a day, and it's going to transform your whole life. Mindset, skill set, heart set, Before we get out of here, maybe one of the Kaizenites will kind of tell you how they feel about the program, but we'll get to that in a minute. Number 4 is presentations. Share this training with somebody, y'all, who feels a little bit nervous when it's time to talk about what it is they do. You know the type. You know the type that's out here like, man, I like what I do, man, but good grief. It feels so weird when I'm talking to them, or they always glaze over when I start talking to them. You hear me? What I'm suggesting you do is begin to look at your presentation as a skill set, something that you start off horrible. Your first is your worst, but then it gets greater later, right? We call that a skill. Your first is your worst, but it gets greater later. So what I'm asking you to do is look at presentation as a skill. Ask yourself, with appointments, the questions that I put in the thing was, what can you do to get more appointments? What can you do to get more appointments easier? Okay. How do you use that time to prepare? These are questions I have for you, right? Share this training with an entrepreneur that even these 7 steps could change their life. But then when we got the presentations, my question for you is, how many stories do you tell? Here's a quick, you want to know how to give better presentations? I give you one jewel that nobody ever told you before. Use stories that involve their objections in advance. That's how you do better presentations. You got to include, if you know every time people are going to tell you, oh, they're really wondering if it works, then every story you tell should be like, yeah, and I was talking to this lady and she was like, yeah, but I just don't know if it works. I'm in this kind of industry and I don't know if it works. And then I told her, well, let's see. And then 3 weeks later, she came to me and she said, well, how many stories do you have like that inside your presentation that are killing the objections that they're going to present before they even present them? This is an area you can just increase your whole business. Number 5 is conversion. Man, how irresistible is your offer? How are you reversing risk? How are you making it so you're taking all the risk and putting it on yourself instead of giving it to them? We call that conversion. Number 6 is follow-ups. We know you're supposed to follow up when they don't. If you go to Millionaire Minded TV, there's an incredible training on these 11 guidelines to getting Fortune out to follow up. You hear me? But check it out, man. Do you know you're even supposed to follow up when they do buy? That's how you get the referrals. That's how you get the retention. You continue that educational process. You continue that engagement process, baby. And then number 7 is UpSells. At the point it's time to upsell, your customers just became leads again. And now it starts completely over. Isn't that beautiful? So how do you solve the problem you created with your solution? Think about that. That's how you come up with your upsells. All right, you just sold them a gym membership, but now they need some workout clothes. I hope somebody hear me out there. So this is Free Coaching Friday, man. Hope this was helpful. Any Kaizenites want to share their experience with the Kaizen Academy and like whether if somebody's on the fence out there and they're thinking about joining, what they should do? Anybody want to share anything like that? That's on the Millionaire Mind line.
Haziq Ali.
Yes, sir. Star 6. Yes, sir. Good morning, Millionaire.
Good morning. I definitely want to share. This is Carmen Wingfield.
Yes, sir.
My specialty is financial literacy, and I'm a product advocate for a health and wellness company. But in reference to the Kaizen Academy, and you have to bear with me, I sometimes use references and associate things in a way that kind of may feel kind of strange. But I was just thinking, with all the information, I was up here just with all the free information that you give us, like the emails that I'm looking at in front of me now, instead of trying and things that you just give out for free. It's just so amazing. Now, take for instance, it reminds me of, this dope that you give out is so good. It reminds me of Scarface when he was sitting at his desk and he had a table full of, illicit drugs, because what you give out for free is just so overwhelming and stimulating. And then when we come to the Kaizen Academy, where we get into things more in depth, and you take more time out And like I said, the training that you're giving and everything, the pennies a day and everything is well worth it, because in the long run, when you institute things and they get into your subconscious mind, you're going to be like, because like you said, you're going to just be so amazed how things start flowing better for you in your business endeavors. And the one thing that I am so amazed about, it not only covers your business relationships, the things that we learn in the Kaizen Academy has also helped me in my interpersonal relationships, whether it be with my daughter, my son, or my significant other. That's what's so amazing about it to me, because it all ties in to each other when you begin to have healthy relationships in business and also in your home life. Because one thing, they all cross over. They balance each other out. And that's just so amazing, because you become comfortable in your business and talking to each individual and using some of the things that we're taught. And also these things also go over into your home life. So that's the amazement that I am finding out about it. And just a minute ago when you said about meaningful conversations, because I always like to say there's a method to this madness, even though we would want to deny it. But the 7 revenue acceleration steps that we take, and you said about meaningful conversation, and you said just by having a meaningful conversation, I found out 2 things on the product side where I do my wellness products. Is that one, when I was talking to the prospect, he gave me 2 key things that when I do come and make the presentation, I can bring up one thing that it would be good for, and I can head off one negative thing that he told me that his wife might feel that I can already prepare for by just having a meaningful conversation, taking notes, and finding out things about the individual.
That's
I
right.
would have never have done that in the past. I would have just bombarded. You do this, you use this, you use that. But now I have one positive, and I know I have one negative that I may have to deal with. Now the positive is going to be all good, but that negative thing that his wife may come up with, I can head that off in the presentation now, and just like put a little statement in and say, hey, just because you can't, when you clean your house and you can't smell tons of bleach or pine sol, that does not mean that it's not clean.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can already head that off. And then on the other hand, he told me that his stepdaughter, she suffers from asthma. So that's a positive that I can already in the presentation bring up, or get in the mix and say, well, hey, if you're already an asthma sufferer or whatever. So like I said, it's just so much that you learn in the Kaizen Academy. It's all about communication and conversation, and implementation is the main thing, because we can always know so much stuff, but if we want to implement it, we have to get it into our subconscious mind to where it starts just flowing from us, like something else that we may remember or do. So I'm just, like I said, I'm just so ecstatic about the Kaizen Academy. It's well worth the investment, and you'll gain so much from it. And I'm not just saying that from the point of just being for Hazik or anything else like that. If you want to expand your mind and expand your business, it's a great thing to get into, because like I said, it not only will help your business or take it to another level, it'll also help you in your interpersonal relationships, whether it be, once again, in your family or dealing with people from day to day, because even out here in the world, you're going to run into certain instances where your business practices may help you in just a non-business practice, like just having these ideas in your mind. So,
that's right. That's right. Because becoming a better entrepreneur is becoming a better person. I really appreciate that, Brother Kerman. Like, that meant a lot to me, bro. And it even hearing you speak, it reminds me, I think it was earlier this week, or maybe it was last week, when we were talking about, I was having some kind of transparent moment. And then you and some of the other brothers and sisters has been rocking with us. So I was like, man, we've seen improvement in you. And that's just proof that if you want to learn and teach, man, you really got to get into a place where you're okay being transparent and vulnerable, and okay with the fact that greatness is a trajectory, not a peak. It's not a point on the, you know what I mean? It's a direction, not a speed. And really appreciate that, Brother Kerman. That was profound. You know, listen, y'all, becoming a better entrepreneur is becoming a better human being on a lot of levels. And that's why I really love that quote from Jeff Bezos, like, do you create more than you consume? Because if you don't, you're on your way out. Anybody else want to share before we get out of here? We about to go do our affirmations, y'all. If you haven't joined the Kaizen Academy yet, go to millionaireminded.com and then click on Kaizen Academy. Or if you just want to try it out, you just want to try this class on Saturday, you're allowed to do that. You can just click on the class link. It's there in the caption, or you can reach out to me and I'll send it to you. Anybody else before we get out of here? All right, y'all. Well, hey, it's affirmation. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
All right, hold on. Which one are you for?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you loud and clear, bro.
Awesome. It's Earl. Yeah,
Earl the Pearl.
Carolina.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. So I had to step out the room real quick, so I got the baby in the room. But
The Mooga Bear.
just real quick, my thoughts on the Kaizen Academy is two things, man. One, confidence equals confidence. All right, and I should say competency equals confidence. To where if you don't know what you're doing, then you're not really confident enough to go out here and do it. So if you get around someone who has been there, done that, and got several T-shirts, and they're willing to give you the blueprint and give you the direction and the roadmap, and literally he gave us an 8-step roadmap to how to, create the sale and get to the close. I think it was just a phenomenal course, man. The whole curriculum, as Kerman said, is designed to make you better. Like me personally, I'm a better person, better friend. I'm a much better listener, much better communicator. I'm not even talking about the sales side of it all. I'm just talking about me and my personal day-to-day life. And those increases and those improvements made me better in my business. Okay, so to give you a quick image, right? I'm gonna paint a picture for you. If you joined your business as Mike Tyson, Mike Tyson is a brawler. Hazik would be like Hazik D'Amato did. Okay, the Kaizen Academy turns you into a fighter, to where now you can strategically throw punches. Okay, the whole goal of fighting is not to get hit. But every time we come in, to our business and to our prospects, we're getting hit with these no's and getting hit with these objections and getting hit with these excuses. Then we have to learn how not to get hit. So the coach, D'Amato, teaches you how to bob your head, how to weave, how to use the 7, sections of the sales cycle. These is all just techniques for us to be better champions in the ring. All right, and that's what I use the information to do, just to become better. Not to say that I'm out here, I'm like I'm not the little wizard. I'm not little Hazik, but I'm much better Earl, and I'm definitely appreciative of that. Because a lot of us come into this game thinking that we're not supposed to get outside help. We're only supposed to learn what we know. Nah, listen, knowledge comes from everywhere. Applied knowledge is power. So keep applying it and keep listening. That's my time.
Man, appreciate that, Earl. Man, on that note, we're gonna get out of here. We're gonna go ahead and jump into these affirmations. Cause listen to me, man. You becoming a better entrepreneur, it makes you a better person. You becoming a better person makes you a better entrepreneur. And that's why we do what we do. That's why we do what we do. So yeah, wasn't that great? Chandra was like, great analogy. Absolutely. That was crazy. The sweet science of entrepreneurship, they call boxing the sweet science. And that's what I consider this. I consider this the sweet science. And he's right. The greatest boxers, the whole goal is to hit without getting hit, to be able to, be able to release yourself from the pressure of having to learn how to absorb all of that rejection is what we're going to do this Saturday. We're going to make it so you can bob and weave, to follow with that same metaphor. All you need is a couple different, some of it's going to feel awkward when you're saying it, but it's only because it feels awkward when you're saying it. It don't sound awkward. It just feels awkward when you say it. And guess what? That's going to go away. Then these patterns are going to become normal. And then you're rich. There's no way that you can keep up this amount of sustained pressure on your calendar and not change your finances and not change the culture of your organization. You hear me? This class is not just important for you, but it's important for your organization. I repeat after me, millionaires. And say it like you mean it. Like, take your cool off. If you never called in with us on the live line before, I want to suggest you do it now. It's 667-776-WIN1. That's the winner's hotline, right? Same time, same line every single day. And we do our affirmations. So repeat after me. I see y'all tomorrow night. Tomorrow is Amma the CPA. She's doing, the financial literacy training for Good Morning Millionaire tomorrow. Every Saturday is always 9 a.m. And then on Sunday, Dr. Kadira, not just my sister, but an Ivy League educated physician. She does Wellness is the New Wealth every Sunday. So if you didn't know that, I wanted to make sure I threw that out there. All right, repeat after me, millionaires. I am so